guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you are a returning subscriber, it must be nice if you're doing it twice. I'm so glad you're back like you never left. And as you can see, today we're sitting on the couch and I'm so excited to be announcing a brand new segment on my channel called Conversations with Misspurplerain. In case you're wondering who is Misspurplerain, you should know by now. It's me. Misspurplerain is my stage name. It's my other name, it's my nickname, I don't know, nickname I guess, yes. And just a brief background on the name Misspurplerain. I got it from Ashley August. I was Ashley's newsreader, simply put. She had a show on campus radio and I was her newsreader. Before I started, I was told by the station manager that I'm gonna join Ashley's show, and then he gave me her number and he's like, I must text her. So I love the color purple. Purple is my favorite color, and so I use purple hearts in like my emojis. I use purple hearts. So I texted her, I'm like, hi Ashley, purple heart, whatever. Then okay, the show is on Saturday, okay. And then on air, she's doing her show, doing her thing, doing what she does best, and then she's like, Misspurplerain, I will come through with the news. And then I was like, damn me, okay. I'm gonna take that. And then I just ran with it. When I came home, they're like, oh, when I'm Misspurplerain, and then it just went on like that. And then there was a day I asked her, I'm like, actually what does Misspurplerain actually mean? Like, I want to give it meaning because I like the sound of it, but I wanted to have a meaning. And then she's like, the reason why I said Misspurplerain is because you like the color purple. But then she also started to give it meaning. She's like, rain impacts everyone, but it's soft, and purple is the color of royalty. So she's like, you're a queen who's soft but impacts everyone around her. And I was like, I know that's right. So yeah, conversations with Misspurplerain, conversations with Palesa, and this is just a segment that I've been wanting to start on my channel for the longest time, and I think I just gave myself excuses of why I shouldn't do it. Like, no, I want to make sure that by the time I start the segment I have a mic, by the time I start the segment, you know, I have other like proper lighting, and I have a couch. At least the couch is here. But yeah, it's long overdue. And as I said in my previous video, or the video before that, where I was talking about the future of my channel, I really love conversations. I love having conversations about different things that affect us in society, and I just love hearing stories of people's lives, because I feel like we can learn a lot about life from each other's experiences. And I love vlogging. So yeah, conversations with Misspurplerain is just another of my passion projects that I want to do on my channel, and I really have a strong feeling that conversations with Misspurplerain is gonna go far, like very far. So yeah, I hope you're gonna enjoy the segment, and let's get right into it. So I've been thinking about what should I talk about in episode 1 of Conversations with Misspurplerain, because yeah, I have a lot of things to say, a lot of things to talk about, and I feel like, yeah, it's gonna be a real movement. So as you can see by the title of the video, I've decided for episode 1 of Conversations with Misspurplerain to be about self-love, and yeah, my journey of self-love and just what I've learned over the past few months actually about self-love. So yeah, please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Let's get into it. So I do have my content creation diary with me, so in case, I mean, don't be disturbed if like I keep looking down, and just to refer to my notes, because I know I can quickly digress. Yes, so I started, let me just first start by giving you a brief background about my journey of self-love before I get into the nitty-gritties of this conversation. So self-love is a very foreign concept for me. Very foreign concept. I am 21 years old, turning 22 this year, and I'm only learning about loving myself now. And this is not because I haven't heard about self-love or that I don't know it's important to love yourself and to take care of yourself, but I haven't actually practiced it, and I haven't prioritized doing so. So I'm sure you guys know I've mentioned this before. I grew up in boarding school. Most of my life I was there. From grade 4 to grade 10 I grew up around a lot of children, well, peers rather, because I was a child myself, and I've always been one with large group of friends and just never wanted to be alone. I hated spending time alone. Spending time alone was just a foreign thing. Like, I didn't want that thing. I always wanted to be around people. And I have recently discovered that I suffer from severe people-pleasing syndrome. Yeah, I've been empowering myself a lot by watching and listening to podcasts about self-development, and I'm starting to realize a lot of like toxic traits that I have, and also the, you know, the good, and it's important to know both in your journey in life. And yeah, I was listening to a podcast by two amazing women, Renee and Courtney, called To My Sister's Podcast. I'll put the link in the description below. And the video that I was listening to that day specifically that I'm talking about now is they were talking about daddy issues. Basically, they were talking about daddy issues and how not having a present father can affect you in your adulthood and in life in general. And you know, yeah, I started to see myself in a lot of what they were saying, and I started to realize just how much I people please, like just how much I go all out for people to please them, even if it means harming myself. So I have a lot of times honored people, showed up for people, betraying myself in the same breath. And that's when I started to see what's normal. I've got a people pleasing problem. And I also listened to a podcast. I can't remember exactly what the title of that episode was, but it was a podcast by Oprah. I think the name of the podcast is Super Soul, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, she was talking about how you teach people how to treat you, and talking about how if people show you who they are, believe them, and what. And even in that conversation, I could see what they were describing as people who are people pleasers is a lot of what I am like. I was also listening to a podcast by Yvonne with another lady. All these things that I'm mentioning, I'll put them in the description box below. And that episode was specifically about people pleasing, and I was just like, yeah, dim law straight. So I don't know exactly why I feel the need to please people so much, like so much to the extent where I just don't care about myself, whether it serves me or not. Like, I will go all out for people at my detriment. But I know daddy issues is one of the reasons why. And so I've been on a quest of self-love and trying to figure out what does it mean to love myself, what does it mean to take care of myself. And I've been doing research by listening to podcasts about self-love, and also just looking at friends who I see really esteem themselves high, and not in a prideful way, and that's also something I struggled with. I've always associated self-love with being selfish and taking yourself too seriously, but it's definitely not the same thing. Self-love is important, and loving yourself does not mean you're selfish, and that's what I thought my whole life. So yeah, I think I've given you a brief overview, and just to give you an example of like a case where I would betray myself in the name of loving other people or pleasing people, would be, let's say I don't have money. Like, maybe I do have money, but I needed maybe to cut my hair, or I need to buy myself another SD card because space is a problem and I need it for my channel. And then a friend of mine says she wants us to go out. Simple example, a friend will say, Palesa, please, can you please go out in. I know very well that the money that I have is for me to get a haircut and for me to buy myself an SD card. These are things that I need in order to be SD card, to be productive in my work, or in my passion, which is my YouTube channel, and a haircut so that I look good. You know, these are things that will help me to be grand. And then I'll be like, oh, okay, sure, let's go. You know, I'll be scared to say, no, actually, I don't have money. Because the money is there, but it's allocated for something else. So I'll be like, no, let's go. And then we go on the date. And then, like, I give into the pressure of ordering something like extravaganza because of the situation, you know. A friend of mine will order something, you know, then I think also my love for food will just jump in there, and then I'll just order, knowing very well that I need this money for something else. So I would please the friend by saying yes to spending money that I know very well was going to help me elsewhere. That's just a simple example. There's many more, and I didn't think I want to tell you guys. I didn't think I want to tell you guys all the things I've done to please people that have in turn come back to bite me. And I actually have a friend, Khabu. You guys know Khabu. Khabu always says like, yo bruh, when I Jesus Junior, like you want to do everything for everyone, and it's not okay. Like sometimes you just need to sit down and you can't say no, and that's something that I've been learning how to do. So I started here with the definition of what is self-love. So I was doing research and I wanted to know what is self-love. And I found here that self-love is regard for one's own well-being and happiness, taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. And this is what I've done my whole life. I've sacrificed my well-being to please people, and it stops right now. And then after getting this definition, it also just like proved to me that there's a lot of cases where I didn't take my well-being into consideration just so that I can please the next person, whether it be friends, family, colleagues, peers, you know the vibes. And then I also wanted to find out what are some of the practical ways that I can take care of myself or show myself self-love. And I discovered that there are 5 kinds of self-love. You know how we also have like 5 kinds of love languages, which I think is 7, because conversations and food, and I say this for the second time, definitely have to be a love language as well. But anyways, the 5 types of self-love that I found was physical self-love, emotional self-love, mental and intellectual self-love, social self-love, and spiritual self-love. And I think these are all like the 5 main aspects of life holistically. And also this is a scripture I've known all my life, and I've said it to so many people, but for some odd reason I did not practice it myself. It's very scriptural to love yourself. Matthew 22 verse 37 to 39 says, Jesus said, this is in the Message translation, Jesus said, love the Lord your God with all your passion and prayer and intelligence. This is the most important, the first of any list. But there is a commandment, but there is a second to set alongside it. Love others as well as you love yourself. So the order of love and the order of importance of love that God has set for us is to love Him, love ourselves, and then love people. And what I've done all my life is love God, love people, and barely love myself, which is not scripture and not God's will for my life. And you can only love others as well as you do yourself. Otherwise, because I also struggle I'm losing the English word, but I struggle to understand what's okay. The word of God says you can only love others as well as you love yourself. I don't think I've loved myself well, but I've managed to love others. So what was I doing? Was I loving people? Was I not loving people? And I think that's where I also saw it was more so pleasing people than loving them. So I would be kind to people, do things for people, show up to people, not necessarily because I love them, but because I want to please them, which was very wild for me to discover, but the truth shall set you free. So self-love is very important. I think also just looking at life and how broad life is and how much life can affect you as a person, especially like in adulting. You just see life, you get to, people have always said kuluzobona and that it's so important to take care of yourself and to love yourself, because it starts with you. Everything starts with you. If I'm okay, then everything around me is going to be okay. If I take care of myself and I love myself, then everything else that affects me or that is connected to me will be well. If I'm okay and I love myself and I take care of myself, my friendships are going to be healthy. They're not going to be perfect, but they will be healthy. My relationships with my parents, with my family, holistically will be well. My work will be well. I'll be productive, and so on and so forth. So I've just come to realize that show up for yourself as hard as you do for other people, because you are the only one who knows how much it takes to be you, and the pressures of life that you go through, just how much you have to do in order to live your life. And it's important for you to not only work hard and show up for other people, but to take a moment to just pat yourself on the back and say, well done, Belly girl, you did that. And to just celebrate. For example, I bought this camera on my own. This camera was 9,500. Bought this camera, and after paying I remember after paying the last installment, I didn't celebrate like someone who just paid off a 9,500 debt. It wasn't debt, but you know, it wasn't mine. So yeah, it's called like, yes, I was like, yo, I'm finally paying off my camera, but it was more so of a relief than a celebration. And I was like, just thinking about it, there's a lot of people who couldn't have done what I did, you know. And I'm not taking credit and saying it was by my might and by my strength. It's always God's grace that allows me to do the things that I do. But you know, being able to discipline myself on some months when I was still working to say, okay, this month I'm not going to do this, I'm going to push the payment of the camera, and be able to finish it, that was something worth celebrating. And I didn't celebrate that as much as I should have. And this year I just want to be more intentional about loving myself, doing the things that I love. You know, the other day I even realized, I'm like, outside of being with my friends and family, I don't even know what I love. Like, what do I love to do? What is it that I love to do besides talking to people, you know, besides engaging in conversations, besides eating? What is it that I like to do, you know? What way? Yeah, like I'm just in a season where I'm learning how to love myself and discovering who I am and what I like to do, and do more of that. And I think it's just important to take care of yourself and to love yourself. And yeah, episode 1 of Conversations with Misspurplerain is just reiterating the importance of self-love and taking care of yourself, because you really just have to do that. And it also teaches people how to, as I was saying, I lost my train of thought. Okay, I think I was saying, yes, loving yourself also teaches people how to relate to you. Yes, my aunt always says, you teach people how to treat you. And I've always like struggled with that concept, but I'm getting it now. If you show people that you love yourself, you respect yourself, and you will not compromise yourself, then that's how people are going to treat you. They're not going to expect you to compromise for them, and they're going to respect your boundaries in loving yourself and taking care of yourself. And the reason why, because also sometimes I'd be so sad and so upset when people take advantage of me. I'm like, but I do so much, you know, I show up for people, I'm kind, I'm nice, I do all of these things, but people take advantage of you. And that's because you've shown people that I am willing to go above and beyond, even if you go below and beneath for me. I'm willing to show up for you, even if you don't show up for me. And people will obviously take advantage of that. So yeah, I'm really learning to put myself first, take care of myself, and to also differentiate being selfish. And actually getting into that, because I did mention that I struggle to balance loving myself and being selfish, you know, putting myself first and esteeming myself higher than other people. And I actually wrote here, I wrote somewhere here, the difference between selfishness and self-love. I think I got this from a website called Restorative Counseling, and this article was written by Stephanie Groenewald. Hey, I don't think it's Groenewald because this is not in South Africa, and I doubt this person is Afrikaans, but Groenewald or Groenewald. So it says here, self-care is about taking care of your own feelings so you do not project them onto others. Selfishness is having a me mentality in which the person consistently only thinks of their own needs and wants with little, if any, consideration for others and their needs. Self-care is basic to fulfilling your potential, discovering your purpose, and experiencing joy. While self-care allows one to be open and share with others, selfishness often leads to isolation and loneliness. And I think this is what I needed to hear. because I was like, okay, but if I say no to people and I put boundaries because I'm not in a good space, and if I disappoint a friend by saying I can't go out because I want to use this money for something else, that will mean, like, you know, I felt like that was being not selfish, but I felt bad. Let me just say that I felt bad for, I've always, even now, like, practicing self-love, I feel very bad for saying no and for putting boundaries in place so that I can take care of myself. But I think being able to differentiate between self-care and selfishness has helped me to see that taking care of myself and loving myself does not mean I'm selfish. It does not mean that I esteem other people lower than myself. It just means that I'm putting in an effort to, I'm realizing that my well-being is as important as another person's well-being, and that if I don't take care of my well-being but I put all of my focus on taking care of someone else's well-being, it's gonna come back to bite me. And it really has in a lot of instances. And yeah, this year I just want to practice self-love, and I wrote here for myself. I thought this at the top of my head. I'm like, what are some of the practical ways that I can show myself love? Because I thought I could Google this, read an article about it, but I was like, since I am on this self-love journey and I want to discover for myself what are some of the ways that I think I can show myself love, let me try to think, like, how will I show Palesa love? What is it that I can do that will feel like love to me personally? And I wrote a few things here that might also help you, and that you can also practice in your quest or in your journey of self-love. So I said, take care of your health, be mindful of what you eat, and be active. And this is a very big one. As I said, I think I've said it in one of my videos, that my relationship with health and just body image and what I'm actually gonna have a conversation about that in one of the episodes, about my relationship with body image and health is a very negative one, or has been a very negative one and toxic one. And I've always exercised and been mindful of what I eat, not because I wanted to take care of myself and I wanted to be healthy and feel good, but because I felt the need to look a certain way because of society and So I wrote here, take care of your health, be mindful of what you eat, and be active. Second one is set boundaries in your relationships with people. Don't be a yes man or a yes woman. Learn to say no. This is very important for me because I've been a yes woman all my life. Whether I'm gonna go home crying that day, whether I'm gonna be frustrated for that month, if somebody wants something, ask for something, I was the yes man, yes woman, and that's not self-love. The third one, I said, prioritize spending time alone and going out alone. Prioritize getting to know yourself and being more in tune with who you are. The fourth one, I said, empower yourself with knowledge. Very, very important. And that's also another way of loving yourself, because where there is knowledge, there is power. If you know something, you are empowered to do better. There's a scripture that actually says the lack of knowledge is the reason why people perish. So it's important to empower yourself, and that's a way of showing yourself love. Another one, I say beautiful things about yourself in conversations with others and to yourself. Don't even make a negative joke about yourself. This is definitely something I'm gonna have to put extra effort in. And then I also said, put in effort in how you look. Your outfit, your scent. This point is a different other conversation about my relationship with presentation and how I look. I've never been one to put in effort in how I look, and yeah, I'm gonna get back to this on another episode, but yeah, put in effort in how you look, your outfit, your scent, etc. And this is why in this video I was like, you know what, I want to put on my favorite dress, I'm gonna put on my perfume, put on earrings, you know, because it's self-love. And then I also said, don't procrastinate. Procrastination is really self-harm. Self-harm at its best. Self-harm. Be honest with yourself, very important. Acknowledge that you have issues and that you have to deal with them, and deal with them. Be honest with yourself is a form of loving yourself. Don't deceive yourself. yeah, don't lie to yourself. And then introspect, track your progress. That's also another way to show yourself love. And yeah, that is my last point. And these are some of the things that obviously it's a journey, and it's a journey that I'm only starting now. I feel very late in my life, but you know, for those who are still alive, there's no hope. There's still hope. I don't think it's late. It's never late. And I'm just grateful to have realized now that, you know, I need to prioritize myself, loving myself. And yeah, I hope this video was not all over the place. I'm so proud of myself. Let me actually display self-love. I'm so proud of myself for starting conversations with Misspurplerain, because it's been something that I've always wanted to do, but I think maybe fear also crippled me, and just making excuses to not start because I didn't have this and I didn't have that, and just not realizing there are some things that I have. You know, I have a camera, I have, even before this couch, you know, it's not like I want to do no one thing, you know, and I could do it, but I just, yeah. So I'm proud. And just like that, conversations with Misspurplerain episode 1 is done. Please let me know what you think of this topic. Leave me a comment in the comment section down below, and let me know what is the one thing that you show. How do you show yourself love? Yeah, just let me know of one thing that you do to show yourself love, and let me know what you thought of this episode of conversations with Misspurplerain. Don't forget to tell your friends and family that Misspurplerain is out here and we're still doing this. Till next time, take care and God bless. Love you. Bye. We did it. I said we did it. Conversation with Misspurplerain, we did it. We came and did it. I did it. I did it.
This hope that I have, I give to my world. This peace that I have, I give to my world.